I mentioned this before that gangstalking is 100% spiritual, whether a person wants to believe it or not. So not because you're looking at these gangstalkers and they drive up in vehicles and they look like regular people and they might come at you in the supermarket and the road. They are family members. They try to argue with you. They try to fight you or whatever. These are spiritual beings. These are not physical beings. When you try to fight back physically, you're going to have a problem because the law is created to protect the non-humans among us. All the law that involved the courthouse, the judge, the police, being locked up, the jail, the whole thing, all of it was created for the humans because the Nephilims and fallen angels among us, they are troublemakers, right? And they know that they like to mess around with God's children, especially targeted individuals. Human will try to fight back. So what they do, they put these laws in place to scare you, to make you not want to fight back, and then they can come and beat you down. The Bible said we do not wrestle against flesh and blood, but against principalities and powers and rulers of darkness of this world. I was watching a video just now with a targeted individual. He tried to fight back physically and then he was locked up. They just let him out and he was making a video about it. The war is spiritual. First, you need to understand these are not humans, they are demons. Next thing you need to understand, they're not that small. These are very, very huge beings, but they operate in small vessels. These are spiritual beings. You need spiritual powers to fight them back. Therefore, you need to call on the Most High, you need to fast, you need to pray, you need to ask God, teach you how to fight. You cannot be fighting these beings physically. I see many of them come at me and I turn to them and I say, I wish you was really that size. See how small you make yourself looking like a real person? I really wish you were that size because if they were really this size, this would not be ongoing for so long. It's spiritual warfare. Everything that they do in the physical is distraction. They are trying to distract you. They want you to be distracted. They want you to lose focus. Their intention is to steal, to kill, and to destroy. This is spiritual warfare. As targeted individuals, do not be going at these gangstalkers to fight them physically. I make report at 3 different police stations and I explain to them about these gangstalkers that come about me everywhere, how they behave, what they do. The first thing the cop asked me, where they come from, where they live, what is their name. I had no answer to none of these things, therefore it doesn't make no sense. So they turned to me and said, this is a spiritual battle, they don't deal with spiritual things. So even the cops know that they cannot deal with this situation because the cops is not there to help us. The cops is there to help them. I have seen Nephilims call the cops on me and the cops show up. Yet when I called the cops to come at the Nephilims who were coming at me in the physical, the cops did not show up. But when the Nephilims went to call the cops after they made false accusation, the cops showed up. So I went out there to them. They don't open their mouth and say anything at all to me. Get to realize that the law is been put in place to help them. It's not to help us. Do not be going at these demons, fighting them physically. You cannot win. The Almighty God fight our battle. This is a spiritual war. This is war. This is what it is. And God, people, we need to fight back, but you cannot fight back physically. Yes, it is tempting. But how in the world are you going to fight all these beings? They're everywhere. I am in Jamaica and I go to many different parishes in Jamaica. They all do the same thing. Different country I've been to, they were doing the same thing. They act the same way. They talk the same way. They do the same thing. They show up in cars. They park because they're all hive-minded. Humans don't do these things. These things don't get tired. They don't have conscience. They don't have sympathy. Do not be fighting spiritual situation with physical power. You will not be able to win. As it is written, for the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through God to the pulling down of stronghold.